Hello and welcome to Curious Minds. Did you know that over 60% of people experience rudeness while traveling abroad? Crazy, right? I'm always jetting off to new places, and let me tell you, I've seen my fair share of bizarre encounters. Have you ever been to a country and felt like everyone was just rude? Like maybe you're just not used to their customs? Well, today we're diving deep into that. We're counting down the top 10 countries known for having the rudest people. Now, this isn't meant to offend anyone. It's all based on surveys and general traveler experiences. We're going to explore some surprising cultural nuances and maybe even bust some myths. Stick around. You won't believe number 1. France often tops these lists, and it's not always about berets and croissants. The French are known for their direct communication style, which can sometimes come off as abrasive, especially to those from cultures that value indirectness. Imagine asking for directions and getting a simple nod with a shrug. It might seem rude, but it's often just their way of being straightforward. They're not trying to be mean. They value honesty and efficiency. Think of it like this. They're cutting the fluff and getting straight to the point. Is it rude or just refreshingly honest? Let me know what you think. Now, let's not forget the Parisian waiter stereotype. You know, the one where they seem annoyed you even dared to enter their establishment? It's a bit exaggerated, but there's a kernel of truth there. The service industry in France operates differently. Waiters aren't necessarily trying to be your best friend. They see their job as professionals, not servants. It's a different mindset. Russia often gets pegged as a country of cold stares and gruff interactions. You might encounter people not smiling much in public or avoiding eye contact. This isn't necessarily rudeness, but rather a cultural norm. Smiling at strangers can be seen as insincere. Think of it as a reserved politeness. They save their smiles for close friends and family. However, once you break through that initial icy exterior, Russians are incredibly hospitable and generous. They'll open their homes to you, share their food, and offer you endless cups of tea. It's a culture of deep connections, not superficial pleasantries. So don't be discouraged by the initial coldness. Okay, let's talk about the UK. The British are famous for their politeness, right? Please and thank you are practically second nature. However, there's one thing that can trigger even the most composed Brit queue jumping. Seriously, don't do it. Queuing is a sacred ritual, a cornerstone of British society. Cutting in line is a grave offense. Another potential pitfall is talking loudly on public transport. The British value their personal space and quiet time. Keep your voice down and avoid making unnecessary noise. It's all about being considerate of others in a shared space. Germany, the land of efficiency and order. Germans are known for their directness, much like the French. They value getting things done quickly and efficiently, which can sometimes be misinterpreted as rudeness. Don't expect a lot of small talk or chit-chat. They prefer to get straight to the point. Also be prepared for some strict adherence to rules. Jaywalking, for example, is a big no-no. Germans respect rules and regulations, and they expect others to do the same. It's not about being rude, it's about maintaining order and efficiency. In China, certain behaviors that might be considered rude in Western cultures are actually quite common. Spitting in public, for instance, isn't seen as particularly offensive. It's often viewed as a way to clear the throat or lungs. Similarly, staring isn't necessarily considered rude. It's simply a way of expressing curiosity. Another cultural difference is the concept of personal space. In crowded cities, bumping into people is commonplace and not usually seen as an intentional act of rudeness. It's just a part of daily life in a densely populated country. India is a vibrant and chaotic country, and its social customs reflect this. Haggling is a common practice in markets, and it's expected that you'll negotiate the price. Don't be afraid to bargain. It's part of the fun. However, be respectful and avoid being overly aggressive. Another aspect of Indian culture that can be surprising is the constant honking of car horns. It's not necessarily meant to be aggressive, but rather a way of communicating on the road. It's a chaotic symphony, but there's a method to the madness. Italy, passionate people, passionate opinions. Italians are known for their passionate and expressive nature. They're not afraid to share their opinions, even if they disagree with you. This can sometimes come across as confrontational, but it's often just their way of communicating. They're passionate about everything from food to football. Another cultural quirk is the concept of faire la figura, which means making a good impression. Italians place a high value on appearances and social status. This can sometimes lead to competitive behavior, but it's also a reflection of their pride and desire to be seen in a positive light. Brazil, close talkers and touchy-feely interactions. Brazilians are known for their warm and friendly nature. They're very tactile and often greet each other with hugs and kisses, even if they've just met. They also tend to stand close when talking, which can feel a bit intrusive for those from cultures that value personal space. Another cultural difference is the concept of time. Brazilians are more relaxed about punctuality, and being a little late isn't considered rude. It's a more laid-back approach to life. South Korea. Respect for elders is key. South Korean culture places a strong emphasis on respect for elders. It's important to use honorifics when addressing older people and to avoid interrupting them. Also, avoid direct eye contact with elders, as it can be seen as a sign of disrespect. Another cultural norm is the practice of offering and receiving things with two hands. This shows respect and politeness. It's a small gesture, but it can make a big difference in how you're perceived. United States, the land of the free and the opinionated. Americans are known for their individualism and outspokenness. They're not afraid to express their opinions, even if they're controversial. This can sometimes come across as blunt or even rude, but it's often just a reflection of their belief in free speech. Another cultural difference is the emphasis on informality. Americans tend to be more casual in their interactions, even in professional settings. This can sometimes be misinterpreted as a lack of respect, but it's simply a reflection of their egalitarian values. So, there you have it. The top 10 countries often perceived as having rude people. But remember, what might seem rude in one culture can be perfectly normal in another. Understanding these cultural nuances can make your travels much smoother and more enjoyable. It's all about perspective. Did any of these surprise you? Let me know in the comments below. Also, share your own crazy travel stories of encountering rude behavior. I'd love to hear them. And don't forget to check out my other videos for more travel tips. We've got more interesting content coming up, so hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. What country do you think we should explore next? Let me know. This journey around the world of rudeness has been a wild ride. Thank you for watching.